Good afternoon, students. Very good afternoon. Right, in the kinematics classes going on. Yes, in the previous classes, position to acceleration, that is one direction. From acceleration to position. Students, in the previous classes, two directions over. That is from position to displacement, displacement to velocity, velocity to acceleration. This is now one side. In the next opposite direction, students, that is from acceleration to velocity, velocity to the position. So once position, velocity, acceleration, these three parameters known, you can solve any kinematics problem. So that's why from position to velocity, that is differentiation required. From position to acceleration also differentiation required, students. On the differentiation also, yes, we worked out more. This is one side. In another side, from acceleration to velocity and velocity to the position. So for this, integration is required. So both completed and we all worked out also. So up to that part, students, now you written examination. Now we enter into next level of kinematics. So now in this next level of kinematics, acceleration and some initial conditions examiner will give. Initial conditions in at the sense, any some time, velocity or position, along with the acceleration, yes, any instant. That means at all times they will give one parameter all times. But remaining two parameters, that is velocity and position, two parameters, any one time only they will give. So one parameter all times, two parameters only one particular time they will give. So that is next level of kinematics. So in that today, acceleration given and velocity and positions. One time they will give, remaining times, all times we need to find out. But here again, acceleration may be uniform or may not be uniform is there. So first step, uniform. Once uniform acceleration completely clear, then enter into non-uniform acceleration. Okay, right now these all now one-dimensional kinematics going on. Because before entering into two-dimensional kinematics, students, another important mathematical concept, that is vectors, should be over. But vectors is still not started. So that's why first I am concentrating on one-dimensional kinematics. Once kinematics one-dimensional part over, then enter into two dimensions or maybe three dimensions also. Right, today topic is constant accelerated motion, known as uniform accelerated motion. One dimension only, uniform accelerated motion. Yes, just wait. Uniform accelerated motion. And one dimension, already one dimension only. So this is uniform accelerated motion. So that means acceleration A equal to constant. Students, acceleration is constant. The meaning is whatever may be the time, given number, for example 2 meter per second square, that is fixed. So all times the same acceleration, that is a uniform accelerated motion. Whatever may be the time equal to 0, t equal to 1, 2, 3, anything. So acceleration is constant. That is nothing but a uniform accelerated motion. Yes, this a is a constant. That now I am assuming a, again a only, or any other number. Suppose in the problem any number given, number you can write. And along with the acceleration, 2 more parameters also required. That is, at t equal to 0, velocity u given and the position x naught also given. So here at t equal to 0, velocity is u and position is x naught. Without this information, we can't solve the problem. Even though this information known, but suppose this information not there, yes, we can't solve the problem. And this is acceleration constant, one dimension. Yes, students, one dimension means either along positive x-axis or along negative x-axis. This is positive x or negative x, yes, along this line. And another important condition is here, acceleration and initial velocity both are same directions. Initial velocity and acceleration both are same direction. Suppose both are positive x-axis or both are negative x-axis, but anyway direction is the same. Then in that motion, particle never stops. Here particle never stops. Yes, another condition is here. Suppose acceleration backside, that is negative x-axis. Initial velocity positive x-axis. Then what happened? Particle stops and moves negative x-axis without stopping. Initially velocity along positive x-axis, that's why body is moving along positive x-axis, but acceleration is negative x-axis. That's why definitely along x-axis velocity slowly reduced, come to the rest, 0. Then again moving forward, that means now negative x-axis direction. But once negative x-axis started, then never stops. Never stops. So that is A and U opposite direction. That's why that you need to check before starting the problem. Suppose both are same direction, never stops. Simply accelerated motion. Velocity continuously increases, not decreases. But here velocity one direction, acceleration another direction, it is known as retardation also, deceleration also, negative acceleration also. But here body definitely stops and again taking backward motion. Okay, so these two. Now acceleration is a constant. So how to solve these problems? Just wait. Students, acceleration A equal to dv by dt we know, right? A equal to dv by dt. Then we can write, because this A dv by dt, this equal to constant also, constant, because A equal to constant. So now dv equal to A dt I am writing. Simply this dt term left side I said. Now ready for the integration. Yes, integral and integral. Students, we know limitations t equal to 0. initial velocity symbol is a u, and t equal to t, that is instantaneous time, velocity is a v. So limitations mandatory. Then later integral dv is nothing but a v, just like integral dx is nothing but x, integral dt is nothing but a t, like that integral dv is nothing but a v. Yes, so v, lower limit to u, upper limit to v, students. And later a, integral dt is nothing but a t, lower limit to 0, upper limit to t. Here limitations you need to understand. Number 1, at t equal to 0, velocity is a u. This is the u meaning. T equal to t, velocity is a v, instantaneous velocity. Right, now first upper limit, then later lower limit, we know limitations. V minus u equal to a into t minus 0. So therefore v equal to u plus at. In lower classes also, yes, almost all students solved the problems based on this equation. But this equation how derived means in this way derived. So v is nothing but velocity at time t equal to t. U is a velocity at t equal to 0, indirectly initial velocity. A is a acceleration, that is constant acceleration. T is a time taken. So after the time t, velocity v equal to u plus at. Students, now please remember this equation. Wherever constant acceleration is there, again you need not to integrate. Directly you can utilize this equation v equal to u plus at, and by substituting the values u and a and t, you can find out the velocity at any particular time what you want now at that time. So that is v equal to u plus at. Now coming to second equation, v equal to u plus at, but v is nothing but a instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity we can write dx divided by dt, because it is only x direction motion, dx by dt. So later in the next step, dx equal to u dt plus at dt. Simply dt sent another side. Now ready for integration here again. Integral, because u constant, a constant. Constants outside you can keep. Then later limitations again. Here limitation, t limit is 0, t limit is 0, t equal to 0, position is a x naught. That means position at t equal to 0 here represented with x naught. Here time t, here x. Integral dx, students, integral dx we know x. So therefore x, lower limit x naught, upper limit x, instantaneous position is the x. Then later u integral dt, that means u integral dt is a t, limitations 0 to t, plus a integral t dt, we know t square by 2, just like integral x dx is x square by 2, here t dt is a t square by 2. Lower limit to 0, upper limit to t. Yes, here limitations I am substituting. Upper limit x, lower limit x naught. So x minus x naught equal to, students, we know final position minus initial position is a displacement. Displacement here symbol I am taking s, u t upper limit t minus lower limit 0, t minus 0, t only. So this is ut plus t square by 2, upper limit t square by 2 minus 0, so t square by 2, half at square. So this is another relation, S equal to ut plus half at square. S is the displacement. Displacement means final position minus initial position. That means in the time t, body moved from x0 to x. That is displacement S. Ut plus half at square. Yes, almost all students solved problems based on this equation also in the lower classes. S equal to ut plus half at square. But the equation is from this. So V equal to u plus at, S equal to ut plus half at square. This is a determination of displacement in the time t. Yes, here u and then u is the initial velocity, that is velocity at t equal to 0 and x naught position at x equal t equal to 0, x is the position at t equal to t. S is the displacement from t equal to 0 to t equal to t. Right, this is S equal to ut plus half at square meeting. This is V equal to u plus at. S equal to ut plus half at square. Okay. Yes, still two more equations are there. Just wait. Yes, you take now, then later add to your notebook. Now take screenshot up to here. Then later add to notebook. Because you need to maintain one particular classroom notebook. Otherwise, yes, now okay. 1 week okay, 2 weeks okay. After that, now complete confusion is there. So at that time, yes, again you need to worry about that. That's why now take screenshot. Once the class is over, please maintain one separate classroom notebook. Right now, two equations completed. So first equation V equal to u plus at. So that the final result conclusion here I am writing V equal to u plus at. So just now derived. Second equation, yes, students, second one, S equal to final position minus initial position is ut plus half at square. But students, this equation we can write in another terms also. See, you only S equal to ut plus half at square. This is u plus v by 2 into t. U plus v by 2, that is average of initial and instantaneous velocity into time. See, v is nothing but what? U plus at. Suppose if you write here u plus at, u plus u 2u, 2u by 2 again u, u into t ut, so ut plus half, here at into t, so at square. That's why remember this equation also more important. S equal to u plus v by 2 into t, v equal to u plus at, equation 1. So these are known as equations of motion. Equations of motion. Yes, here one student asked, sir, how this u plus v by 2 into t? Yes, see students, very simple. Ut plus half at square, t take common. Then u plus at by 2. t after taking common u plus at by 2. Then later t outside, 2 is the LCM, 2u plus at. Right, students? Then next step, t outside, 2u I am writing u plus at by 2. But what is the v? V equal u plus at. Yes, u plus at place v returns it. So u plus v by 2 into t is a displacement. So equation 1, please remember, this is equation 2, this is equation 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, another is v versus s. Students, one more equation we know. It is a displacement in the time t. But sometimes examiner find the displacement in particular second. Maybe second or third second, 10th second, only 1 second. So that is nothing but nth second I am taking. Displacement traveled in the nth second. For example, 10th second. 10th second displacement, how you calculate? Suppose now body moving like this. This is a t equal to 0. This is a t equal to 10. Means indirectly in the 10 seconds this distance covered. 10 seconds. 10 seconds from here to here covered. How to calculate the displacement? That is this formula. S equal to ut plus half at square. T is nothing but 10. If you substitute, you will get in the 10 seconds how much displacement you will get. Okay. But in the 10th second, how much suppose asked? 10 seconds means okay, you can calculate by using u into 10 plus half into a into 10 square, no doubt. But 10th second, how to find means t equal to 0, t equal to 9, t equal to 10. From here to here, it is a displacement traveled in 9 seconds. From here to here, 9 seconds. But from here to here, displacement in a 10 seconds. But I need 10th second means only from here to here. So this represented with S10, displacement in the 10th second is nothing but displacement traveled in 10 seconds minus displacement traveled in 9 seconds. 10 seconds how much displacement minus 9 seconds how much displacement. Then students, you will get 10th second only how much displacement, right? Same way here, I need nth second, only nth second. So that is displacement in n seconds. This is a symbol for n seconds minus displacement traveled in n minus 1, because they are 10 and 9. Same way here, n and n minus 1. Displacement traveled in n seconds minus displacement traveled in n minus 1 seconds is nothing but a displacement in the nth second. So now I am substituting n seconds means, yes, this formula ut plus half at square. U into n plus half into a n square. This is displacement in n seconds. Next to students, n minus 1 u into n minus 1 plus a by 2 into n minus 1 whole square. So then un plus half an square, okay, as it is. Here un minus u one term plus a by 2 into n minus 1 whole square n square plus 1 minus 2n. Here un plus half an square is there. Yes, otherwise we can write like this. Un plus half an square. Students, un cancel out. Then half an square minus half an square. Half an square cancel. So then minus into minus plus u. Then next to a by 2, this is 1 and minus 2n. Here minus is there, u minus a by 2 into 1 minus 2n. Here I am writing 2n minus 1 after sending minus outside. Therefore u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Students, only nth second, particular nth second, just like previously example 10th second we have seen, like that only one particular second, that is n, u plus a by 2 2n minus 1. This is the derivation. Now you need to remember final result to solve problems in the exam, because in the examination again these derivations now unnecessarily our time. Yes, more time will be wasted. So that's why Sn equal to u plus a by 2 2n minus 1. Please remember. This is equation number 4. Yes, here conclusion I am writing, but you please take later the derivation and conclusion remember. Yes, here I am writing. Only nth second Sn equal to u plus a by 2 2n minus 1. Equation number 4. Equation number 4. Just wait. Yes, students, simple simplification, need not worry. Just here a minus b whole square expanded and then later simplified. Similar terms cancelled. Yes, now 4 equations completed. One more equation is there. Wait. Yes. Students, acceleration, not only simply dv by dt, we can write v into dv by dx. A equal to v into dv by dx, also acceleration. So next to a is a constant, we know, because it is the topic itself uniform accelerated motion, constant acceleration. So dx send that side. V into dv equal to a into dx. Now integration. X equal to x naught. At that time velocity is u. Previously limitations given. Now x equal to x, velocity is a v. Now limitations also ready. Integral v dv, just like integral x dx, integral t dt, integral y dy, like that. This is v square by 2. Limitations u and the upper limit is v equal to a. Integral dx is a x. X naught to x. So now first upper limit, then later lower limit. 1 by 2 anyway constant. V square upper limit minus lower limit u square by 2. That side a into x minus x naught. But students, final position minus initial position, that is x minus x naught, is a displacement. So a into s. V square minus u square equal to 2as. This is another important relation. But here V, velocity after traveling through the displacement of S, U, starting velocity, 2as, S is the displacement equal to x minus x naught. So this is the another relation. Yes, this is the derivation. Later you please add to the notebook, but this relation you should remember. So conclusion I am writing. V square minus U square equal to 2as. This is equation number 5. Yes. Students, here uniform accelerated motion, that is acceleration constant, A equal to constant, that is both in magnitude and also the direction. Magnitude and direction both constant, then that only uniform accelerated motion. In that uniform accelerated motion, that A constant, that is A I am taking. Then later, final conclusions, 5 conclusions, all are important. First conclusion, velocity V equal to U plus AT. But this meaning also you need to remember. V means after the time t, velocity. U means t equal to 0. T equal to 0 means not body starting time now. When our observation starts, for example, one body is moving, our observation starts one particular time. At that time, how much velocity body having, that is a U. U is nothing but velocity of the body when our observation starts. That is the meaning. Students, don't confuse. T equal to 0 means not body starting time now. Yes, body, all bodies start from 0 only. So that's why T equal to 0 means body starting time now. That is when our observation starts. Our observation stops. So this is when our observation starts, velocity is U. After time t from our observation starting point, velocity is a V. V equal to U plus AT, meaning is that A is a acceleration. Then later, students, displacement, how much covered in that time t? How much displacement covered? Final position minus initial position. Ut plus half AT square, already proved. Ut plus half AT square. So this is a displacement covered, Ut plus half AT square. Ut plus half AT square is S, displacement covered. Means in the time t, how much displacement covered? Again, actually, it's not a distance, students. It is a displacement. Distance different, displacement different. When body moving in a single same straight line and a single direction, no change. But suppose during the motion, suppose body moving forward and again coming back, that definitely distance different, displacement different. That's why here I am stressing that S is a displacement, not the distance. So displacement equal to Ut plus half AT square. Equation 2. Equation 3. S equal to U plus V by 2 into T. U plus V by 2 into T is a displacement. Means before time T, that is T equal to 0 velocity. After time T, velocity is a V. Now by 2 into T, that is. Next to displacement in the nth second, this is important. Only in the nth second, not n seconds, no, nth second. So displacement in the nth second, u plus, that is velocity at t equal to 0, a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Suppose you need 25th second. Substitute 25th in the n. 25 into 2, 50, 50 minus 1, 49, 49 into a by 2 plus u is your answer, like that. Next, v square minus u square equal to 2as. V is the velocity of the body after covering the displacement of s. U is the starting velocity. That means when our observation starts, at that time velocity is u. So v square minus u square equal to 2as, meaning is that. So students, uniform accelerated motion, in the examination, integration again not required. Because integration already in the classroom over. So after the integration only final conclusions, results came. That results now we are remembering. Number 1, v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at square, s equal to u plus v by 2 into t, s n equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1, and v square minus u square is a 2as. So by using these 5 equations, one-dimensional uniform accelerated motion, yes, you can calculate. Yes, by using these 5. Yes, one student raised the hand. Any doubt there, please? No student, tell me. Yes, okay. Students, remember 1 to 5. Then in the next step, how to use these equations, now I am going to explain. How to use these equations. Once this equations derivation, that is part 1. Part 2, these all equations you need to remember. Why remember? Because in the examination again no time to solve the all derivation. This is the part 2 remembering. Part 3, utilization of these all 5 equations in appropriate manner. Just remembering not sufficient. You need to utilize these 5 equations to solve the problems. Okay, equations utilized. Next to 4th part, you need to simplify the problem. So for that simplification, mathematics useful. That's why by using the 4 steps, you can solve any one-dimensional uniform accelerated kinematics problems. 4 steps. Uniform accelerated motion. First step, by using the constant acceleration, derivation of these all 5 equations. That is in the classroom only over. So step 1 classroom over. In the step 2, these all 5 equations remembering. That is in your hands. Step 2. Step 3, utilization of these 5 equations in appropriate manner to solve the kinematics problem. For example, in one kinematics problem, initial velocity given and time also given. Initial velocity given, time given, uniform accelerated motion. Suppose displacement asked. 5 equations, okay. But which equation suitable first you need to analyze. Initial velocity, time given, then displacement means equation number 2, ut plus half at square. Suppose initial velocity given, final velocity given, and time also given. Then find the displacement. Acceleration not given. Just simply uniform accelerated motion mentioned, but not given. Initial velocity given, final velocity given, time given. Yes. Equation number 3. U plus v by 2 into t. Suppose nth second they ask. Particular second, maybe 5th second, 6th second, like that, particular second. Yes, equation number 4. Next, final velocity given, displacement also given, anyway acceleration given. Final velocity given, displacement given, acceleration given. Initial velocity how to calculate? Yes, equation number 5. So this is the student third step. Once students all remember 5 equations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then problem, kinematics problem, you need to analyze. Yes, how to analyze? Yes, what is the given information? Is there an initial velocity there? Or time given? Acceleration given? Displacement given? What given? Given information is what? Later, last line, what we need to find out? So these all parameters in which equation is there? Sometimes combination of 2 equations required. So that equation identification is part number 3. So once now step 3 over, suppose you identified correct and later substituted. Yes, after substitution, mathematical simplification. Suppose one student up to 3 steps complete. 4th step, no simplification. Then finally no answer. Means first 3 steps also not useful. That's why last up to the ending of getting the final answer, you need to solve the problem. So that's why many aspirants for both IIT and also the NEET, many aspirants, why feel physics difficult? This is the reason behind that. Any one particular step, suppose now not good, then complete even 3 steps good also no any answer. That's why in all steps you need to improve the skills. And especially part number 3. Part number 3, maximum students now fail. Part number 1, okay, that is the derivation. Even some students can't understand, but the formula remember. Second step remember. Second step okay. But that students, ready-made problems can solve, but any new problem is there, can't solve. That's why step number 1, that is for different and difficult problems. Step number 2, remember, means formula remember. This is, many students can remember, no doubt. But that students, any ready-made problem, already known problem is there, then they can solve. Any unknown is there, again depends on step number 1. Next to step number 3, yes, formula remember. But after reading the problem, yes, they are unable to apply. Because indirectly they can't understand the problem. That's why part number 3, many students fail. But how to improve part number 3 skills? The only one way, attend the regular classroom classes with more attention. And every second, here whatever the problem going on, that you need to apply your own principle to solve the problem inside. This is not 1 day or 1 month or 1 week program. This is throughout whatever the chapters, many chapters are there, all chapters, every day, every second, you need to analyze that. Then only you can improve. Just only by reading the book or any solving 1 or 2 problems, you can't. So in the classroom, yes, how sir explaining, any questions asking. So in that way, more attention required. So then step 3, students can finalize. Once step 3 over, step 4 is mathematical simplification. Yes, many students can complete the simplification just now. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, Some very know that differentiation, integration, less questions. But all mathematical part many students can complete. That's why step number 3 more important. That nowhere you can improve the skill except in the classroom. In the classroom also just simply sitting now. More active participation required. Then you can solve any physics problem. Okay students, here in the uniform accelerated motion, one dimension, these 5 equations derived, and I hope all our students remember 5 equations also. Yes, any problem is there, analyze and use this now suitable formula, substitute and simplify. Okay, yes, example purpose, one small problem I am explaining. Yes, students, be ready. That is the straight line. Along that straight line only, particle is moving with uniform acceleration, a equal to constant. Yes, in that direction, a constant, uniform accelerated motion. Now this is point number A. This is point number B. This is point number C. C is exact midpoint. C is exact midpoint of A and B. Exact midpoint of A and B. Yes, students, a point number A, velocity of the particle is V1. At point number B, velocity is V2. At point number C, velocity is V3. First, now understand the problem. In this single straight line, uniform accelerated motion, 3 points I have taken. These 3 points, distance between 2 successive points is a constant. That means same. Then only C is nothing but a midpoint of A and B. So A to C, how much distance is there? C to B also same distance is there. Same distance. Now at point number A, velocity V1, point number B, velocity V2. Suppose velocity V1 given, velocity V2 also given. Velocity V1 given, velocity V2 also given. How to find velocity V3? This is the question first. How to find velocity V3? That is at midpoint of A and B. Students, here 5 equations ready. You all remember. You simply mention just which equation number useful to solve there. Just to mention that, just I will observe. Some students now mentioned 5th equation, but only one student, that is now Varshit. Any other now? Problem understand first. Point number A, point number B, velocity is given V1, V2, no doubt. But in between A and B, see exact midpoint. At that midpoint velocity they asked. No any other information, that's it. So another student also mentioned same 5th. Yes, any other now? Okay, students. So this is the difference between the aspirants, because in our many intelligence are there. For all students I explained the same way, right? But later only 2 or 3 students only, this all analyzed and told that. Maybe inside some students now solving, I think not mentioned. That's why you can assess yourself. I can't assess you. Yourself now you please assess. That's why to solve physics problems, attending the classroom program. Only the way. Yes, now see, I am explaining. Students, here to here distance and here to here distance same they told. Okay, I am assuming this is S, this is also the S. So, how you write this? Here S and here S, total 2S. Equation number 5. This is initial, this is final, suppose. So, V2 square minus V1 square, V2 square minus V1 square equal to 2A into 2S, right students? Because here to here distance is at 2S. So V2 square minus V1 square equal to 2A into 2S, that is 4AS equation. Okay, already there, that is suppose A equation. Next, here, only here to here take, just here to here. Here to here, this is the final V3 square. So V3 square minus V1 square, V3 square minus V1 square equal to 2A into S, because this distance is a S. So V3 square minus V1 square equal to 2AS. So, but 4AS already we know. This is the 2AS. 2AS, how you write from the 4AS? V2 square minus V1 square by 2. So 4AS is nothing but 2 into 2AS. We need 2AS. That's why 2 send this side. V2 square minus V1 square by 2. Now V3 square minus V1 square equal to this is. Now send V1 square that side. So students, V3 square equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2 plus V1 square is nothing but what? V2 square plus V1 square by 2. Because take LCM 2 minus V1 square plus 2 V1 square, that is V1 square, V2 square plus V1 square by 2, that is a V3 square. But we need V3. So therefore V3 equal to under root V1 square plus V2 square by 2. Yes, examiner V1 given, V2 given, that's it. V3 how much? Yes, V3 equal to this. So that's why students, up to this second part, remembering equations, okay. Third part, you need to analyze the question. Problem you need to analyze. Understand the problem. So to understand the problem in the classroom, you please now try. Any problem is there, try yourself inside. Then initially it may be difficult. But later on, once you adopt this method, later, yes, any physics problem you can solve. Just to solving the physics problem, not only for get entrance, that means an admission into institutes, no. Higher studies also, all places, our this complete nature equations there. So that's why try to understand. Yes, this is the third step. Later substituted students, that is the third step. Once properly substituted, then fourth step is mathematical simplification. Once simplification correct, then finally you will get the final answer. Okay, right. So now today, uniform accelerated motion in one-dimensional kinematics, that is constant acceleration A equal to constant started. All 5 equations I derived. Once class complete, you also please now write in your own notebook on your own note without seeing any derivations, because one time practice. Then later students 5 equations remember, and tomorrow onwards by using these 5 equations how to solve unknown problems I will explain. Okay, thank you.